Hello. Hi, everybody. Yeah, hi. Welcome to Poetry Out Loud 2026. Let's give one more big round of applause for everybody here. Okay, a couple reminders before we get started. First, this is a no phone zone. So if you have your phone, put it in your pocket. Turn it off would be even better. If we see a phone, we're going to take it. This is a really big deal. We have 20-some people performing. They are getting up in front of their peers, hundreds of their peers, so we want to show them the respect they deserve. We're going to keep our phones away. Second, the show will go through fifth hour. It'll go through the bell. We are not leaving at the bell. Right? We're not leaving at passing time. You're all staying right here. So when the bell rings, do not get up. We're going to go through 6 hour, probably about half of 6 hour. After that, we'll announce the winners, and then you'll go back to 6 hour. All right, Ms. Mulvaney, that's it.
I think it's great, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to be up here. I'll introduce our poets one at a time. They'll come up, they'll do the performance. And when they are doing the performance, you're paying attention, you're being supportive. And what do you do when they finish their poem? Yeah. Okay. Up first, we're going to jump right into it. This is our very first one. So when I say their names, I want you to be as loud as you possibly can. Reading Scary Movies, our first reciter is Auden Hanson. Give it up for Auden.
Scary Movies by Kim Adonzio. Today, the cloud shapes are terrifying, and I keep expecting some enormous black and white B-movie cyclops to appear at the edge of the horizon, to come striding over the ocean and drag me from my kitchen to the deep cave that flickered into my young mind one Saturday at the Baronet Theater, where I sat helpless between my older brothers, pumped up on candy and horror. That cave, the litter of human bones gnawed on and flung towards the entrance. I can smell their stench as clearly as the bacon fat from breakfast. This is how it feels to lose it. Not sanity, I mean, but whatever it is that helps you get up in the morning and actually leave the house on those days when it seems like death. In his brown uniform, he's cruising his panel truck of packages through your neighborhood. You grip your little date book, staring at some scrawled appointment a week away, trying to convince yourself that day exists when you know it doesn't. Thinking of a friend's voice on a machine, I'm not here, the morning of her funeral. The calls filling up the tape, and the mail still arriving. And let's face it, there isn't any solace. And as for safety, I remember all those vampire movies I'd come home from, and then lie awake all night, rigid in my bed, unable to get up even to pee, because the undead were waiting underneath it. If I so much as stuck a bare foot out there in the unprotected air, they'd grab me by the ankle and pull me under. And my parents said there was nothing there. When I was older, I would know better. And now, they're dead. And I'm older, and I know better.
Judges in between each of these to make sure they're ready. And then we'll introduce our next one. Ooh, very sweet. Good. So our next performer, reading the poem February, is Caspian Lynn. Give it up for Caspian.
by Margaret Atwood. Winter, time to eat fat and watch hockey. In the pewter mornings, the cat, a black fur sausage with yellow Houdini eyes, jumps up on the bed and tries to get onto my head. It's his way of telling whether or not I'm dead. If I'm not, he wants to be scratched. If I am, he'll think of something. He settles on my chest, breathing his breath of burped up meat and musty sofas, purring like a washboard. Some other tomcat, not yet a capon, has been spraying our front door, declaring war. It's all about sex and territory, which are what will finish us off in the long run. Some cat owners around here should snip a few testicles. If we wise hominids were sensible, we'd do that too. Or eat our young like sharks. But it's love that does us in. Over and over again, he shoots, he scores, and famine crouches in the bed sheets, ambushing the pulsing eiderdown. And the wind chill factor hits 30 below. And pollution pours out of our chimneys to keep us warm. February, month of despair, with a skewered heart in the center. I think dire thoughts and lust for French fries with a splash of vinegar. Cat, enough of your greedy whining and your small pink bumhole. Off my face. You're the life principle, more or less. So get going on a little optimism around here. Get rid of death. Celebrate increase. Make it be spring.
Okay, that was Nashville. All right, up next, we have Scarlett Omar reading Sunset of the City. Give it up for Scarlett.
A Sunset of the City by Gwendolyn Brooks. Already, I am no longer looked at with lechery or love. My daughters and sons have put me away with marbles and dolls, are gone from the house. My husband and lovers are pleasant or somewhat polite, and night is night. It is a real chill out. The genuine thing. I am not deceived. I do not think it is still summer because sun stays and it is summer gone that I see. It is summer gone. The sweet flowers in drying and dying down. The grasses forgetting their blades and consenting to brown. It is a real chill out. The fall crisp where there is winter to heed. There is no warm house that is fitted with my need. I am cold in this cold house, this house whose washed echoes are lost down tremulous halls. I am a woman and dusty among new affairs. I am a woman who hurries through her prayers. 10 intimations of a quiet core to my desert and my dear relief come. There shall be such islanding from grief, in small communing with the master shore. Twang they, and I incline this ear to 10, consult a dual dilemma, whether to dry in humming pallor, or to leap and die. Somebody muffed it. Somebody wanted to joke.
Thank you, Scarlett. All right, we're all doing awesome. I love the energy that you're all bringing, so keep that up. Up next, we have Ella Bloss reading Karma Affirmation Sister, Don't Be Afraid, Keep Going Toward the Horror. Let's give it up for Ella.
Sister, Don't Be Afraid, Keep Going Toward the Horror by Gabrielle Calva-Caresi. Remember how you didn't fall yesterday, even though you thought you would? Life can be like that all the time if you let it. Remember all the balance beams and the room full of stuffed animals at the children's hospital? How scary it was and always dark. It was meant to be comforting, but you knew better and survived it. That gauntlet of stuffed animals leading to the physical therapy room so long ago. When you learned, it's okay to hold out your hand and help someone up, no matter what the factory or the nurses tell you. A good thing to remember is that life is an equal amount of donut shops and roadkill every day. And if you see the deer get hit, you can call the Tiger Rescue Group, and the deer will become tiger food. Sometimes the things that matter to you won't matter to anyone but you. And that's redemption. The poem that means nothing to anyone but you. Like how your life was. Like your bones that kept you safe. And the meatloaf you hid in the corner of your mouth so it wouldn't get stolen off your plate. It is true that sometimes you want to take the food off of other people's plates. Let that sink in. And then remember, it's okay to know you're part craven smuggler, part thief. Maybe if you know your animal, really know your animal, you won't become a builder of factories or slave ships. Maybe instead of building a ship somewhere in your body, you just let yourself feel the pain and humiliation. No need to make it beautiful for some future reader. Just say how much you wanted to hurt someone like you got hurt. And then just watch that for a while. It's okay to feel horribly ashamed. Best not to look away. The gate to joy is past the factory and past the reader, and maybe it's past your last breath on this planet. There's nothing you can do about it. You come from the cistern of brutality and hunger. You are the resignator. Just breathe.
hockey, we have Lola Coley. Give it up for Lola.
Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy where the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the makes of foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood awhile in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O Frabjous Callooh, Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths outgrave.
Thank you, Lola. Up next, we have Amelia Byers reading Uncle's First Rabbit. Give it up for Amelia.
Uncle's First Rabbit by Lorna D. Cervantes. He was a good boy, making his way through the Santa Barbara pines, sighting the blast of fluff as he leveled the rifle, and the terrible singing began. He was 10 years old, hunting my grandpa's supper. He had dreamed of running, shouldering the rifle to town, selling it, and taking the next train out. 50 years have passed, and he still hears that rabbit just like a baby. He remembers how the rabbit stopped keening under the butt of his rifle, how he brought it home with tears streaming down his blood-soaked jacket. That bastard. That bastard. He cried all night and the week after, remembering that voice like his dead baby sister's, remembering his father's drunken kicking that had pushed her into birth. She had a voice like that, growing faint at its end, his mother rocking softly, keening. He dreamed of running the bastard out of his life. He would forget them, run down the hill, leave his mother's silent waters and the sounds of beating night after night. When war came, he took the man's vow. He was finally leaving and taking the bastard's last bloodline with him. At war's end, he could still hear her soft body stiffening underwater like a shark's, the color of the water darkening, soaking as he clung to what was left of a ship's gun. 10 long hours off the coast of Okinawa, he sang so he wouldn't hear them. He pounded their voices out of his head and awakened to find himself slugging the bloodied face of his wife. 50 years have passed, and he has not run the way he's dreamed. The Paradise Pines shadow the bleak hills to his home. His hunting hounds, dead now. His father, long dead. His wife, dying, hacking, in a bed she has not let him enter for the last 30 years. He stands, looking. He mouths the words, "Die, you bitch! I'll live to watch you die!" He turns, entering their moss-soft living room. He watches out the picture window and remembers running. How he'll take the new pickup to town, sell it, and get the next train out.
Thank you, Amelia. Up next, we have Zia Brown reading I Felt a Funeral in My Brain. Give it up for Zia.
I Felt a Funeral in My Brain by Emily Dickinson. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading, till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service, like a drum, kept beating, till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift a box and creak across my soul, with those same boots of lead again. Then space began to toll. As all the heavens were a bell, and being but an ear, and I, in silence, some strange race, wrecked, solitary, here. And then a plank of reason broke, and I dropped down, and hit a world at every plunge, and finished knowing then.
All right, thank you, Zia. Up next, we have Sebastian Anderson. Sebastian's reading This Hour and What Is Dead. Give it up for Sebastian.
This Hour, What is Dead by Lee Young Lee. Tonight, my brother, in heavy boots, is walking through bare rooms over my head, opening and closing doors. What could he be looking for in an empty house? What could he possibly need there in heaven? Does he remember his earth? His birthplace set to torches? His love for me feels like spilled water running back to its vessel. This hour, what is dead is restless, what is living is burning. Someone tell him he should sleep now. My father keeps a light on by our bed and readies for our journey. He mends 10 holes in the knees of 5 pairs of boys' pants. His love for me is like his sewing. Various colors, too much thread, and the stitching uneven. The needle pierces clean through with each stroke of his hand. At this hour, what is dead is worry, and what is living is fugitive. Someone tell him he should sleep. God, that old furnace keeps talking with his mouth of teeth, a beard stained at feasts, and breath of gasoline, airplane, human ash. His love for me feels like fire, feels like doves, feels like river water. At this hour, what is dead is helpless, kind and helpless, while the Lord lives. Someone tell the Lord to leave me alone. I have had enough of his love that feels like burning in flight and running away.
All right, thank you, Sebastian. Up next, we have Evie Weigel reading Brushing My Teeth. Let's give it up for Evie.
Brushing My Teeth by Isabella Dorta. 2 minutes. It's just 2 minutes out of my day. I can sing the happy birthday song in my head. 3 times over to distract myself back and forth, and it's so repetitive. But I was always told that sometimes in life we have to do things we don't particularly like. Back and forth, and I hate the taste in my mouth, especially when it starts frothing up like, ew, back and forth. Is it done? Now it has to be done now. He said it would only take 2 minutes. It has to have been 2 minutes back and forth. This is not like brushing my teeth back and forth, and I didn't mention it. If I mention it, I have to acknowledge that it happened back and forth. It was just 2 minutes out of my day, just like brushing my teeth, like back and forth.
All right, thank you, Abby. Up next, we have Amanda Dodson reading On the First Day She Made Birds. Let's give it up for Amanda.
On the First Day She Made Birds by Diana Garcia. He asked me if I had a choice, what kind of bird would I choose to be? I know what he thought I'd say, since he tried to end my sentences half the time anyway. Something exotic, he thought. He thought maybe macaw. That would fit all loudmouthed and primary colored, you would think. He thinks too much, I always thought. But really at heart, I'm more, don't laugh now. An LBJ. A little brown job, except I'm not the flip from branch to branch type. Such a waste of energy. All that wing flap and scritch, scratch. Really now. Can you see me? Seed pod clamped between my beak, like some landowner's Havana cigar clenched between his teeth? No, I think not. I think green heron. You ask why? Personality mainly. That hunched look, wings tucked to neck, waiting. Waiting in the sun on a wide slab of rock alongside a slow river, like some old man up from a bad night's dream where he's seen his coffin and you say to him, have a nice day. And he says, make me. Oh, you want looks? I'll give you looks. Long olive green feathers, a trace of iridescent, I could stand going out. Iridescent chestnut sides and head. A black crown, yes, a crown. Something regal to flash when you get too close. Dark bill, bright yellow legs, and that creamy streak down my throat and peck good. Not great, but good. Pecks just enough for a quick hop to the next. The best part, no sexual dimorphism. Male, female, both alike, endless possibilities.
All right, thank you, Amanda. Up next, we have Marilene Hernandez Diaz reading Barbie Doll. Give it up for Marilene.
Barbie Doll by Marge Piercy. This girl child was born as usual and presented dolls that did pee-pee and miniature GE stoves and irons. And wee lipsticks the color of cherry candy. Then, in the magic of puberty, a classmate said, "You have a great big nose and fat legs." She was healthy, tested intelligent, possessed strong arms and back, abundant sexual drive and manual dexterity. She went to and fro, apologizing. Everyone saw a fat nose on thick legs. She was advised to play coy, exhorted to come on earthy, exercise, diet, smile, and wheedle. Her good nature wore out like a fan belt. So she cut off her nose and her legs and offered them up. In the casket displayed, on satin she laid, with the undertaker, a turned up putty nose, dressed in a pink and white nightie. Doesn't she look pretty? Everyone said. Consummation at last, to every woman, a happy ending.
All right, thank you, Marilene. Up next, we have Adela Jones reading For the Young Who Want to. Give it up for Adela.
For the Young Who Want to, by Marge Piercy. Talent is what they say you have after the novel is published and favorably reviewed. Beforehand, what you have is a tedious delusion, a hobby like knitting. Work is what you have done after the play is produced and the audience claps. Before that, friends keep asking when you are planning to go out and get a job. Genius is what they know you had after the third volume of remarkable poems. Earlier, they accuse you of withdrawing. Ask why you don't have a baby. Call you a bum. The reason people want MFAs, take workshops with fancy names when all you can really learn is a few techniques, typing instructions, and cis mannerisms, is that every artist lacks a license to hang on the wall. Like your optician, your vet. That proves you may be a clumsy sadist whose fillings fall into the stew, but you're certified a dentist. The real writer is one who really writes. Talent is an invention, like phlogiston after the fact of fire. Work is its own cure. You have to like it, better than being loved.
All right, thank you, Adela. All right, how we doing? We're a little over halfway. We feeling good still? Yeah, okay. Up next, we have Vivian Ferris reading Notes on Devotion. Give it up for Vivian.
Notes on Devotion by Carolyn Harper Knight. A man by the name of Skinner becomes famous for keeping caged pigeons, whom his clock feeds or starves at random. Their tiny, twitching heads exaggerate, until one bird swings its weight like a pendulum. One turns counterclockwise 3 times. One aims its beak to the corner and sings, "My love, let me break," which has nothing to do with the cage. The point is, the pigeons invented their own religion. Aim litanies at an empty sky until something broke and something was mechanical. I still hold the shape of his skull to my sleeping chest and call his name over and over to the wrong man. Though the manna that fell was nothing but accident, it conditioned the birds to aim weapons. The accuracy with which they pecked the homing radar was unswayed by Skinner's pistols or pressure chambers. The centrifugal loop that swung their bird bones broken until their hearts were locked in place. If you feel pressure on the neck, remember, lockets used to be a sign of mourning. Stuffed with hair or cutouts of a lover's eyes, I've seen love pecked to death and the gods sculpted from that accident. I've aimed my head to the corners of the sky and opened my mouth so wide I thought my beak would break. Like clockwork, I coo. Let me break, my love. And skin the feathers from that wound. Religion requires ritual. To do the same thing over and over despite pressure in the skull or a pistol to the breast. But I still remember my own young Sunday, the hollow sanctuary where behind the preacher's head, a bird flew into the window, over and over, and we just kept singing.
All right, thank you, Vivian. Up next, we have Treyana Young reading Railroad Avenue. Give it up for Treyana.
Railroad Avenue by Langston Hughes. Dusk, dark on Railroad Avenue. Lights in the fish joints. Lights in the pool rooms. A boxcar some train has forgotten in the middle of the block. A player piano. A Victrola. 942 is the number. A boy lounging on the corner. A passing girl with purple powdered skin. Laughter, suddenly like a taut drum. Laughter, suddenly neither truth nor lie. Laughter, hurting a dusk, dark evening. Laughter, shaking in the lights, in the fish joints. Rolling white balls in the pool rooms. And leaving untouched the boxcar some train has forgotten.
All right, thank you, Trey. You all did exactly what you were supposed to when the bell rang. You stayed here. We've got maybe 8 or 9 left. Up next, we have Hazel Sina reading Mirror. Give it up for Hazel.
Mirror by Sylvia Plath. I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is unmisted by love or dislike. I am not cruel, only truthful, the eye of a little god, four-cornered. Most of the time I meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long, I think it is a part of my heart. But it flickers. Faces and darkness separate us over and over. Now I'm a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she truly is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She roars with tears and an agitation of hands. I'm important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me, she has drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman rises toward her, day after day, like a terrible fish.